These are countries, cities, and places you can travel to even though you are young or young at heart, bougie, and broke. Not broke, broke. Meaning you need high quality experiences for low budget. You might be wondering, am I young? Am I bougie? Am I broke? Well, answer these 3 questions and we will know if this video is right for you. Will you ever willingly choose to stay in a hostel in order to save money on a trip? Quick, yes or no? Would you ever choose to stay in your hotel all day long as opposed to going outside and venturing into the new city or country that you're visiting? Quick, yes or no? Is enjoying the local food in a city or country extremely important to you? AKA, you will not eat anything you can get in your local city or country. Quick, yes or no? If you answered no to question number 1, but you know what a hostel is, you are broke. If you answered no to question number 2, you are young or young at heart. If you answered yes to question number 3, you are bougie. So this video is for you. Let us begin with the places you can travel to where your low budgets will create high quality experiences from my experience as a previous young, bougie, and broke traveler. Thailand is always on my bougie on a low budget list, whether you are young or young at heart, because you can get a 6-in-1 experience for less than $100 a day. Stunning free beaches, exciting nightlife, great food during the day and night, shout out to the street food. Add Koh Samui, Krabi, and Koh Phi Phi to your list if you want a balance between a vibrant nightlife and a relaxing day, and $1 massages. Add Chiang Mai to your list because where else are you going to get spa hotels for $50 to $60 a night? Go to the wooden temples or the incredible sunrise hikes or sunset longboat rides or the whitewater rafting in Chiang Rai. And while you can't really go wrong with the food all around Thailand, for some of the best food during the day and night, you have to be in Bangkok or the nearby Isan. If you love spice, like I truly love me some spice, don't forget the papaya salad. For a combination of everything, and if you want to be around tourists from all over the world, head to Koh Samui. Who knows, maybe you'll find bae there. A bougie bae. Bali. Bali is undeniably one of the most beautiful natural gems in the world that has remained uniquely beautiful despite decades of high tourism. Despite being bougie and popular, this volcano turned island costs less than $100 a day for you to be among the best of the best experiences. For $250 a day, you are basically on Beyonce's level in either Ubud, Seminyak, or Uluwatu or Nusa Dua. Did I say that correctly? Please forgive me. One of the most incredible jaw-dropping experiences of my life was during the sunrise hike at Mount Batu, which only costs about $5 to $7, and you should definitely add it to your bucket list too. There's just no way to describe hiking a volcano, standing inside the clouds to see the sun go down and rise for sunrise. See, I just described it. Did it make sense to you? Not really. You can't really describe it. And for some of the best food I've ever had in my life, you have to stay on the streets of Bali for the satay. The way they just mix things, so delicious. Anything served in banana leaf is great in Bali. And don't forget the chili spice on everything. Head to Jimbaran Bay for seafood right on the beach for less than $10. And if you really love architecture and spirituality and the intersection between both, you have to try one of the gorgeous temples in Ubud or Uluwatu. And the easiest way to get around Bali is to rent a car. If you are really broke, hopping on the motorcycles is always a good option. Word of caution about Bali: there are these gorgeous, Instagram-worthy, breathtaking, drooling jungle resorts that are actually very affordable. But if you stay in one of these, make sure, I am begging you, book one with actual doors and AC in your room or villa. Also, tourism is the main source of income in Bali, so be careful if you book a car ride service. Do your research instead of just following them blindly to wherever they take you. Recommendations are always welcome with research. Philippines. My time in the Philippines is still one of the most relaxing and insane trips I've ever had, because my bank account was truly hanging on by a thread. Boracay is your spot if you're looking for an exciting everyday of minimum labor and maximum enjoyment by the ocean, parasailing, banana boats, relaxed scuba diving, and ocean-to-table seafood dinner. If you're a real foodie like me, meaning your definition of a good trip is great food every day, you'll need to go to any one of the provinces in central Luzon. New Mexico. New Mexico. I always say this is one of my top 3 destinations yet, and it's simply because it's indescribable, but I'm gonna try my best to describe it. New Mexico has a very present Native American, Hispanic, and American fusion going on in the culture, so every city in New Mexico has its own unique vibe for everyone, and it's all very affordable. If you're more into art, you want to go to Santa Fe for one of the 300 and growing art galleries, or take a very quick stop in Silver City to see some local artisans and maybe even pick up a skill or two. If you do choose to go to Silver City, please go only during the weekends because most places are closed during the week. If you love stunning hot springs and the outdoors, add Taos and Truth and Consequences to your bucket list. Trust me, yes, that is the name of the place. It's called Truth and Consequences. Like I said, indescribable. Taos is also one of the most unique places in the US, with some of the most impeccably preserved and existing Native American culture, with Native Americans still living in the Taos Pueblo community. Visiting requires prior planning and registration with the community, which you can register online. You cannot go to New Mexico and miss the white sands. It's the largest gypsum dune field in the world. There's literally nothing like 73,000 acres of pure white glistening sand. And be sure to go sledding while you're there. Get there early in the day because it gets very, very, very hot by noon. You can also camp there overnight, just sign up on their website. Hot air balloon in Albuquerque is always a great idea too. You are clearly a bougie foodie, so you have to try any of the local hatch chili dishes, or the chili milkshakes, or the chili wines. I know it sounds spicy, they all have a little kick to them because you can only find them authentically in New Mexico, or even go to one of the stunning wineries in New Mexico with some of the spiciest yet delicious wines I've ever had in my life. I have a full travel guide and itinerary on everything you should see, eat, and experience while you're in New Mexico if you like. The link is gonna be in the description. H-Town, Houston, Beyonce Town, whatever you call it, I had to add Houston to the list because yes, they have the NASA Museum where you can walk through space. Yes, they have a James Turrell skyscape thing that literally changes color according to the sunset. The most important thing about Houston, Texas is, you guessed it, the food scene and the drink scene. Undeniably, Houston has the best food in the US. Don't fight me, don't at me, don't question me, it's a fact. I didn't make the rules, it does. Why? Because only in Houston can you get the level of diversity and accessibility to food that you can't get anywhere else. Before you say New York City, are you going to be transporting yourself on the train for 2 hours in order to get the best Korean food? No, in Houston, all it takes is a 15-minute drive and you're there. Cajun Korean cuisine, check. Southern cuisine, and I mean the good Southern cuisine where you can even pick and choose the recipe from the restaurant, check. The food scene here is undeniable. It is chef's kiss, and honestly, so affordable if you know where to go. And of course, I have a Houston travel guide here for you to choose from, where you can find everything to eat, places to stay, and things to experience in Houston, Texas. Because yes, I love you like that. Only if you subscribe though. Thanks. Portugal. Portugal, specifically Azores, Lisbon, Porto, and Douro. I have to be specific about Portugal because not every city in Portugal is actually affordable for the broke people. There are 9 islands in Azores, and this is one of the places where you can truly get your money's worth in one of the greenest places in Europe. Tip, if you want to do all these cities on one trip, just remember you have to fly from Azores to the other parts of Lisbon, so just plan ahead. Or don't, you can easily get a next day flight from Azores to Lisbon for about 40 euros. I've done it and I loved it. Definitely go to as many islands as you can while you're there. I absolutely love Lisbon because it has everything I need for a bougie trip. Gorgeous beaches, easy transportation, great food, impeccable wines, a free workout on those hills every single day, and a range of nightlife. Plus, it probably is one of the safest cities I've ever been to as a Black female solo traveler. And don't forget to visit Sintra and Cascais while you're there for some of the most gorgeous beaches and some of the most beautiful buildings you'll ever see. Also, you get a little deep dive into Portugal's history. If you're young or young at heart, you want to stay in Bairro Alto or Chiado for the cafes, the art scene, for a classic fado dinner, or just live music to really get into it with local residents, head to Alfama. Nightlife for the young, bougie, and broke, or just young, bougie, or just have a great time, you want to go to Bairro Alto or Caí do Sodré. I think I'm saying that correctly. Bahia is the busiest part of Lisbon for shopping, vintage shopping, and a few hidden food gems, but you want to head out of Bahia for more of the delicious stuff. Just a quick train ride, you will be in the wine capitals of Portugal, Porto and Douro, where all you are going to be doing is indulging in delicious port wines in Porto and Douro for delicious Douro wines in stunning wineries. Mexico, but not Tulum and not Cancun. Instead of Tulum and Cancun, try Sayulita or Playa del Carmen or Mexico City or Isla Mujeres or any of the fishing villages of Puerto Escondido, which all have great beaches, great food, great adventures from sunset sailing to all the water activities, great nightlife and great relaxing vibe, and an all-around 5-star experience in some stunning resorts that honestly will not break your already broken bank. Sorry, broke bank. Not broken bank. Mexico is still one of my favorite places to visit from my young, bougie, and broke student days to my young, bougie, and baby adult days. Great for all ages and pretty much everyone. I love it. Costa Rica. If you're young, bougie, broke, or if you're just stressed or overwhelmed, or you just need an escape into the green nature of Earth with great food, you want to add Costa Rica to your list. And while you might be tempted to stay in the city of San Jose in Costa Rica, I'd suggest skipping San Jose and staying in one of the more lush areas like Tamarindo, Monteverde, Las Catalinas, Puerto Viejo, La Fortuna. Look them up, those places. You can also stay in one of those forest resorts or those hidden bungalows for a more secluded trip. But if you do, I still recommend stepping out and visiting at least one waterfall or going zip lining or just doing something very adventurous in nature to soak up the beautiful rainforest scenery. I truly loved Limon for the vibrant and Afro Costa Rican community. And if you're lucky, you might be there around fiesta season or the festival. For beaches, you can't really go wrong in Costa Rica. They're all beautiful, especially the ones in Guanacaste. Did you subscribe yet? Please, thank you. Puglia, Italy. Puglia, Italy, or Puglia, as some people will say, is truly a beautiful and highly underrated region in Italy. So you have a variety of small towns to explore and to choose from on a daily basis with some of the most hospitable local residents I've ever met. Spend a day in Bari, then head to Poliano a Mare for 2 to 3 days, Albarella for a day, and Lisi for a day, back to Poliano if you're like me and can't get enough of that ocean or the people. It's just absolutely beautiful. This is definitely a more relaxed vibe if you just want to eat, lay in the sun, drink wine, swim, practice your Italian with local residents, and really soak up that small town dolce far niente. I cannot overemphasize this about Puglia. Get a car. Rent a car as soon as you book your flight, because the only thing that will actually cost you a lot of money in Puglia are the cabs. The bed and breakfast will be your best bang for your buck, and they're owned by local friendly residents. Plus you get breakfast for free, so why not? Hear me out. Oklahoma City to be specific. Hear me out, trust me. Bringing it right back to the US with this very hidden and highly underrated gem for the foodies. While Oklahoma City is small and honestly there isn't much to do outside of curated events, the food scene is every day right up there with New York and Houston in terms of unique and highly awarded places for once-in-a-lifetime dining experiences. Like a hidden speakeasy 10-course restaurant around the world at Gray Sweater? Check. Duck Comfy Ramen or the hidden Latin American deliciousness at Brasa? Check. Undeniably, it is still one of the best travel spots for foodies and at 1/10 of the price of the bigger cities. So if you're bougie and broke, or you're just a foodie just looking for a good time, add Oklahoma City to your list of a very quick trip, but very delicious trip. Grenada. Yes. Grenada is one of my favorite places that I will always go to when I just need to relax, decompress, or need help remembering what it feels like to relax. Because the pace in Grenada is slower than anywhere else that I've ever been to, and for a very good reason. The people are also very hospitable. Everything moves slow in Grenada. The food is some of the freshest seafood I've ever had, and nothing beats splitting a cocoa pod and eating fresh cocoa on the street in the middle of the day. And also, as beautiful as Grenada is, it's rarely ever crowded because it's such a hidden gem. And don't forget to go to the party at Guyap's Fish Fry every Friday night. It's always delicious. Skip the non-local factories and chocolatiers and only go to the locally owned rum factories, restaurants, and chocolatiers. It's better and everything is locally grown. Plus, supporting local residents is just good travel sense. And I truly love Lyman in Grenada. When you get there, you know what I mean. My home, or one of my homes, Austin, Texas, truly has everything luxurious that makes it feel like a different country from March, and everything is all for ridiculously low prices due to the great location that consists of a place called the Hill Country. Think glamping in authentic Mongolian yurts and tree houses and winery tours from 150 wineries on the dedicated wine trail, with some looking almost otherworldly and all with free entry. Outdoor parks and springs and gardens that truly look surreal for less than $10, like Cross Springs. And as a certified bougie foodie, the barbecue is as amazing as they say it is. And my favorites are Salt Lick and Terry Black. Salt Lick is one of my favorites because they have bison. When you get to Salt Lick, specifically the original OG Salt Lick in Driftwood, you want to cross the street because there's a winery right across the street, and cross back into Salt Lick because Salt Lick is BYOB. So you can have your barbecue and your Texas wine. Now, which one of these has made it to your bougie bucket list of places to visit yet? Did you subscribe yet though? Because that's what's on my bucket list right now. Thank you. And as always, live luxuriously and live abundantly because you deserve it, you bougie babe.